If you're lost in your 20s, here's exactly what worked for me. Going from broke, unfulfilled, working a 9 to 5 that I hated, to now being fulfilled with purpose, running a $20,000 a month business. I'm gonna break down this video in two parts. The first is why I feel lost in my mid to late 20s and why you might feel the same thing. And then the second part of the video will be about what I actually did about it. And I'm gonna focus specifically around my business. As a quick hint, it's YouTube, but it's not a content creator or traditional influencer. Now, with that being said, this video is for you if you're lost in your 20s, if you're working a 9 to 5 where you feel stuck, unfulfilled, and it's just something that you truly hate like I did in the past. And I'm gonna walk you through that in just one sec. You're somebody that's creative, but you're stuck in a corporate position. So personally, I like to build websites, photography, colors, all that stuff. And I feel like I was in a job where I truly didn't fit in, and it was very repetitive, very monotone, something that I really didn't like at all. And this video is going to be super relevant for you if you're somebody that's already posting content on YouTube but seeing no results, because that's something that I went through as well. So here's a photo of myself. I thought you might like this photo of myself snowboarding, and this other photo of myself right here, so you get to know who I am. But with that out of the way, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 reasons why I feel lost in my 20s and why you might feel the same way too. This is a photo of what you might be feeling right now and what I used to feel back in the day. The first reason why you might feel lost is because you don't know where you currently are. And this could be that because of the fact that you've been on autopilot since school, you just don't know where you've ended up. You've been chasing goals that aren't really yours. So this could be goals from your parents, from your friends, what you see online on YouTube videos and all that stuff, or you've even built a life around stuff that you don't really care about. And when I talk about stuff, I don't just mean material stuff, but I mean things like your job position, how you get your self-worth from, and all this stuff. And you've come to realize that these things you don't really find value or don't really mean anything to you. This is a photo of myself like about 2 years ago, where I felt like I was just out of place, lost in a 9 to 5 that I hated. And even though I was trying to build a business, which I'm gonna talk to you in just one sec, I was just getting no results, and I still felt very lost about this whole thing at all. Now, let's say that you do know where you are right now, but it's somewhere that you don't like. So in other words, the reason why you might feel lost is because you don't know where you're going, or where you're going is not where you wanna go. This is definitely the case for myself. Back in the day, where maybe you don't have a clear vision, but you know that whatever you want to do in life is not what you're currently doing right now. Maybe again, you're stuck in a relationship or a 9 to 5 that you hate, you're not living where you want to live and all that stuff. You might not know what success actually means to you. So this is huge. Again, maybe the definition of success that you currently have is something that was given from your parents, from your friends, from school, from society, from what you see online. But you know that this, what you're currently chasing, or what this success that you've been looking for, is not something that actually means anything to you at all. Now, you've seen what's out there, but everything feels blurry, unrealistic, or kind of like a trap. And if you're anything like me, you're afraid of getting to 30 and realizing that you wasted your 20. So you were entirely lost throughout the whole way. Here's a photo of myself in my old 9 to 5. It was a remote position, but the one time that I did go to a Christmas party, people that were my age or even older people, I see like I didn't relate to them at all. I didn't want to live the life that they were living, and that scared me because these people were in the company like maybe for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and I knew that I didn't want to live the life that they were living. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not what I personally wanted to live through in my life. The third reason why you might feel lost is that you might know where you are and where you want to go, but you don't know how to get to that place where you want to go. This could mean that even though you're listening to podcasts, reading books, watching YouTube videos, you still feel stuck, and you might know or have a rough idea as to what you want. I knew I wanted to run a business, and I heard online gurus and everyone say just start, but I was like, start what? Like, I don't even know what business I want to run. The thing right here is that you don't need more information, you just need clarity, and everything seems a little bit risky. I'm gonna walk you through that in just one sec, but again, this is how you might be feeling right now. So now that you know why you might feel lost, whether it's because of the fact that you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going, or you don't know how to get to where you want to go, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did to stop feeling stuck. And as a disclaimer, this is not something that is going to be like taking a pill and then the next day you know exactly what you want to do with your life. It's kind of like a gradual process, and I'm just going to walk you through exactly what I did over the last 2 years to get to where I am right now, and I'm going to break down all of that in just one second. The first step that I took to stop feeling lost is that I realized I needed to decide that I wanted to stop feeling lost. I know it's kind of silly, but that's just the first step. Decide that you don't want to feel lost anymore. What comes after that is that I needed to find clarity. And the way that I found clarity, something that really worked for me, which might work for you as well, is that I bought a notebook like you see right here. And this notebook, what I did is for every page or every couple pages at the top, so let's just pretend this is a page of the notebook, I would write a word which would be an area of my life that I had goals or I wanted to get more clear on. So some of the areas or the actual areas that I wrote down on this notebook were my faith, so I'm Christian, relationships, health, work, lifestyle, and travel. And this is not a video as to what areas should be important in your life. If you don't care about traveling, then you don't have to put traveling. If faith is not something that's important to you, like you don't have to put it. I'm just letting you know of the ones that were important to myself and the ones that I wrote. Let's say in this video, I want to keep it more related towards work specifically. I type work right here. What I did is I asked myself these two questions. What do I actually want? Like seriously, not just like what my parents want or what society have been telling me, what YouTube videos are telling me that I should like. What do I actually want? Do I want a fancy house? Do I want a nice car? Do I want to travel the world? Do I want to have a family? Like, what do I actually want? And a question that might help you with that is, what would I do if I know that I couldn't fail? So if you knew that you couldn't fail at starting a business, is that something that you would truly do? Or if you knew that you could start working on getting a better relationship with your family, with your friends, whatever it may be, that you wouldn't fail, like what are things that you would do? And the way that I went about it is on each page I wrote 2 to 3 statements. And after those 2 to 3 statements, what I wrote were actionable steps as to how I was going to make this happen. So clear, actionable steps or things that must happen for this main goal to become a reality. So let's say for my work example, my 2 to 3 sentences might be, I want to build a business that has impact. I want to have a business that gives me freedom. And after that, have actionable steps. What must happen in order for this to become a reality? Well, every day I need to spend time like working on my business. I need to like start listening to more business podcasts, like whatever it may be. It started like this for myself, just getting clear on what I wanted and how I actually was going to achieve it. Now, to give you an example as to what this actually meant or what I actually wanted for in terms of my work, I wanted to have time, location, and financial freedom. And this was because I knew that here, a lot of the other things that I wanted in my life would be able to stem from. So if I wanted to travel, I know that if I was in a 9 to 5 that I was not making any money, or even if I was making money but I couldn't really leave and go to a different place, it's something that I wouldn't be able to achieve. This is not specifically regarding like a certain dollar amount for myself. It was more like the ability to have freedom, to have choice. So if I wanted to go travel, I could definitely do it. Or if I wanted to go on a nice dinner with my friends, with my family, have a cool experience that might not necessarily need a lot of money to do, but that I actually had the freedom and the control to do it. This right here was kind of like how I picture myself. This is a photo of Iman Gaji. If you don't know who it is, he's like an online entrepreneur. And I thought how it was very cool how he was working on his own business, but it didn't really depend on a specific location. And that's something that I really wanted to do in my own life as well. At this point, everything might still feel very unclear. So it's not like just writing down your goals is going to magically give you purpose, but something that helped me and allowed me to not feel like I was completely lost starting from scratch was asking myself this question right here. Is there something that I already have or that I'm already building that is worth building on top of? So in this case, it could be for you a skill that you already have that you could teach to other people. And in my case, when I wanted to get clear about the type of work or business that I would start, I asked myself these questions. Is there a skill that I can already teach to somebody else? Is there a service, a product that I can offer to the market and get paid for? Is there any experience skill that I gained in my 9 to 5 that could help me run a business, start my own business. And in my case, I had experience with photography, making videos, building websites, customer support, all this stuff, which were skills and things that I later used to build my own business. So it's not like I'm completely starting from scratch. In my 20s, I've already graduated from university, done work for a few years, and there's some skills or things that might help me and are worth building on top of. And at the time, I was trying to run a web design agency, and I was just posting these videos to document the journey. Now let's backtrack for a little bit. I know that at this point you might think, okay, like it seems like you already knew what you wanted, but what if I don't know exactly what I want? Now you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Rico, it seems like you already knew that you wanted to start a web design agency. And to be honest, that's not the answer. I tried a bunch of different business models, which I might get to in a different video, but something that helped me eventually land into something that actually got me results and something that I actually want was, again, keep asking the question, what do I want? And start from things that are like, to be true. So in my case, this meant I want something that is mine. So a business. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact business model, like, oh, I want to run this business selling this product to these people, but at least I knew that I wanted something that was mine. I knew that I wanted to get compensated based on results and not hours at a desk, just going from the experience of being micromanaged by a boss. And I knew I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to make sure that I did work that allowed me for time, location, and financial freedom. So it's not like I knew exactly from the beginning what business model exactly or the product that I was going to sell, but I had this kind of like pillars or things that I knew I wanted. And from there, I started to take action in that direction. Remember, perfect inaction beats inaction. This is a concept that I saw in a YouTube video and it completely blew my mind. The person talking about it kind of gave the analogy of, let's say you're on a boat going to an island, which is your goal, your destination, but you just don't know how to get there specifically. The thing might be is like there's wind, waves that are like kind of drifting you apart. So if you don't consciously make an effort to start paddling or rowing in that direction, you're never gonna get there. Like it's certain that you're not going to get there by accident. And let's say that you did start rowing. So let's say this is my canoe and this is my goal to where I want to go. If I start taking action, the waves, the obstacles in life might start drifting me from side to side. But as long as I keep correcting, I'm going to eventually get more and more directionally correct to eventually land to where I want to go. So in my case, it's not like the first business model that I started was the thing that worked for me. I tried a bunch of different business models, which again, I might get in a different video, but more and more I was taking action that was eventually leading me to the right direction, allowing me to gain skills and so on. And again, it's not just for work. This could apply also for the type of person that you date, for the relationships, for your experiences, for the type of lifestyle, for your health. It's not like from one day to another, you're going to get your nutrition and your working routine on point, but over time you're going to start making changes that would eventually help you lead to where you want to go. So to give you some context and tacticals as to how I actually did this, in January 2024 I wanted to leave my job because I truly hated it. I've been running this web design agency for several months, but I had seen no results. And at this time, I was still lost, but I was kind of gradually getting more purpose. I knew that I wanted to start posting on YouTube about my business, because before I was just posting random videos, and my theory was that if I posted videos on my web design business, I would actually help get more clients. I didn't want to become an influencer. I wanted to just power my business with YouTube. The thing is that this didn't take overnight, but consistency was key. To give you like a little bit of more context how I did this is I had my web design agency and I was building websites on a specific platform called High Level. And the way that I was now trying to get clients starting the beginning of 2024 was with YouTube. Now, fast forward to today, I've been able to quit my job many months ago. I scaled my web design agency to $20,000 a month in profit. And I now have a YouTube business that allows me for freedom, that is sustainable. And I'm excited about my late 20s. I'm no longer afraid to turn 30 and feel like I wasted my 20s. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that I have all of my life figured out, but it means that because of the fact that I've made the decision to stop feeling lost, got clear, and started taking imperfect action, I actually feel like I have way more purpose and I'm going in the right path. As you see right here, my business in the last 4 weeks has been able to bring over $20,000 in profit. I'm not saying or showing you these numbers to show off or like show you any cars or any of that stuff. I'm just showing you to letting you know that this is possible. So if you're currently stuck in a 9 to 5 that you hate, feeling broke, unfulfilled, not being able to do the things that you have, having no control over where you work or your time, this is a sign that if you make a decision to stop feeling lost, get clear, and start taking action, imperfect action even, you're going to eventually get there with hard work and consistency. You see right here, I have 2 photos, which are moments that I really liked so far in this year. This one right here, I went to Western Canada with my girlfriend and my friends. I've always wanted to go to this mountain, and it's something that I was now able to do because of a business. And also here, going to Colombia with my family was a trip that I really liked as well. My main takeaways over the past 2 years, and a lesson that I would tell my younger self, is that you're not unmotivated and lost, you're just unclear. And once you get clear and find a direction, you're going to get that motivation. So you right now might be struggling with the fact that you feel like lost, you feel unmotivated, you feel lazy. Once you make a decision and get a little bit more clarity, that motivation will naturally come to you because you're actually excited to start walking that path and getting more clear. You need to define what your version of freedom, your version of success looks like. Not what your parents, not what your friends, not what your coworkers, not even what I'm telling you in this video. You yourself need to figure that out for yourself. And that goes, in my case specifically, with a lot of thought, writing down on a piece of paper, and so on. I realized that I felt the most fulfilled when I was building towards something that I had control. So whether it's in work, relationships, my fitness journey, whatever it may be. And my advice is to just start. So that is exactly how I went from feeling lost, unfulfilled, working a 9 to 5 that I hated, to feeling fulfilled, full with purpose, with now a $20,000 a month business. It all started with identifying the reasons as to why I was feeling lost, making a decision to stop feeling lost, getting clear as to what I wanted, and then taking action, making changes, even if I don't have all of the right answers at this specific moment. If you're curious to know how I built a $20,000 a month business on YouTube, you can click this video right here where I walk you through exactly how I did it, the steps that I took. But with that, I'll see you in my next video.